Good morning, my friends. Hope you guys are doing great wherever you are at. It is sunshine again. I love sunshine, and I do like some cloudy days as well because it reminds me a lot of England. I lived there for a little bit in my early 20s, and I loved it. I know a lot of people don't like the cloudiness. But today I want to share with you on power of influence. And this is one of the subjects. It is very profound in its own self because we get influenced every day with ads, with things people say to us and so forth. But the whole point comes to who are we listening to? And first, right off the bat, I would say is there is a difference between listening and hearing. And we hear a lot of noise, but listening is when we really attend to it and it starts sinking into our head, into our spirit, into our soul for us to react to. And like this video right now, I'm talking to you, you could be hearing, you could be doing 10 other things, or your thoughts are on two different sides of, hey, I gotta go to work, or I gotta do X, Y, and Z for my wife or for my family. So you're hearing me, but you're not listening. How we listen and how we allow it to work in our lives. And I feel like that's a lot of the time we get influenced by people because they say these big things. For example, we have all read a lot of great authors who have had sold 5 million, 10 million copies of their books, or we have had mentored who have success under their belt. And it's all wonderful and all great. And as we know, our fingerprints don't match. We are all individual as people. But how does it affect our personal life? It's the biggest thing, because that's where we are able to walk a life that is supposed to be fulfilled with our work, our ethics, and so forth. Now, I am not sure what your path is. And as I'm talking on this screen, I don't know you, you don't know me personally. There are some people who do know me personally, who have subscribed to this channel. When I am speaking to you, is my words influencing you in any way? Because the power of influence comes through what you hear. And many times we hear things and we act on it or we react on it because it sounds great. And there is a specific way to listen. We listen with the ear, but then it all confirms in our gut feeling. It does. Because you could disagree with me on this, but I think the way we were made, the intelligent design, is we have been built in with this specific conscience that we call it, is a gut feeling. You remember in a conversation, you know, in my gut feeling, I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. Or in my gut feeling, I should be doing that. And sometimes we react on those, and actually those gut feelings are always right because our body is designed to be influenced by something that happens within us. It's a chemistry, and our vibration allows us to like, hey, I have to connect with this, or I have to do this. So this is going to help me. But many times we listen to people, certain books, and the people who influence us the most as our family members and our close friends that we connect with, our co-workers and so forth. But when we dig deeper, we have to listen to our own gut and say, I will not do this because this is not good for me. Although it sounds good and it's wonderful, I'm not supposed to do this. when we make those decisions, we are settled in a spirit. And we feel, okay, you know what? It doesn't matter. Even if it's $1 million deal, because that $1 million is the poster of it. Oh, it looks fantastic. It's the glitter that gets us. You know, I don't know if any of you have been to a casino, but I've been to. And I will tell you this, is when you see those glittering lights and you're like, oh, and it says on that, oh, you're going to get $3,000 if you max bet. But sometimes we don't realize that max bet is $10 a pop to get $3,000. Now, if you look at the equation, it's not a lot of money, because by the time you get it, you could be spending $4,000 to get the $3,000. Also, even if you go with the minimum bet, which could be probably $1, that is a great odds. If you read the fine print, it says max bet. And sometimes you don't read the fine print. We end up getting caught up and suckered into something that was not meant for us. And we end up losing. But the lights and the verbiage that showed us, influenced us to give it a shot. Now, I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with taking your chances. Also, because we know every action has a reaction. Everything you do has a consequence, good, bad, or the ugly. But the fact is, when we are influenced by somebody else or something we see, we tend to take an action that causes us to walk in a certain way, and we find out, to be quite honest, in a dark path. You know, in an alley where we like, okay, where do I go from here? Then we have to turn around and come back. Now, all this was because somebody said something to us that pumped us up. I am all for growth because I watch a lot of growth movies and documentaries and so forth that will help me, my personal development, because I don't know it all. Because we are learning everyday new things, and I want to stay with the program of growing and not just saying, okay, I'm done growing and then that's it. 5-year-old cannot say, okay, I'm done growing, but they can't go to work, they can't drive, they can't do all these things. So they have to keep growing in their mind, and of course, physically they're growing to achieve their goals in life. When they're little, yes, parents influence a lot. They show us a path, a way, good, bad, and the ugly. It all depends on the person, how they're being raised. But when we are older, we always tend to blame our parents mostly, you know, and I've done the fair share of mine. I blamed them while they were alive. I've grown up really now. I'm 53 years old. I understand. It's not their fault. They shared their thoughts when I was older. And if I followed that and then found out it was not the right course for me, I'm accusing them. But I had to feel that in my spirit. Do I really need to do that? There is awesome blessing in seeking counsel, but there is also drawbacks in seeking counsel, because when you hear too many people say, and when you have too many different opinions, you don't know which to go with, or do too many different solutions. You have to listen to your inner gut and say, this seems a perfect right in my spirit, and I can move forward. Now, let me get a little bit to the spiritual side of it. The people I'm talking about is Christians who have this spirit called Holy Spirit, because it's a spirit of God that lives in them. And they use that, so they're guided by that spirit. And some who have not gone to church will say, like, I don't understand this, but stay with me on this journey and I'll explain to you. When a person who goes to church and they feel a pastor, a priest, or a prophet would say a message or give them a word, say, hey, I see you going to Germany and getting a job. Now, I believe he is a man of God, and so he heard from God. He heard from God. But is that same words God speaking to you in your spirit, in your core? Yes, I will be going to Germany. And unless you know in your spirit, you're going to say like, I'm going to Germany. I'm going to Germany. Now, there is a power of influence that he has. Now, he has caused you to go to Germany and you made all the arrangements. And then you come to find out it was a bust. You made a mistake. You're going to blame God. You're going to blame that. Now, remember, that guy is just a vessel, just like you and me. What he heard, what he felt, he said that. But his power of influence made you change your course. You were supposed to go to Toledo, Ohio, and work in a small company where, the population is 5,000, but you are very happy. And that's where you met your wife and so forth. But you took a course of action to go to Germany because somebody saw that in you and you took that course of action. Now, I am not discrediting prophets or anything. They are mouthpiece of God. But you have to also confirm that in your soul, in your spirit. Proverbs says, in all the things acknowledge God in all your ways, and he will direct your paths. If we are acknowledging God in all our ways, we are going to be led by God. We are not going to be influenced by somebody else and listening to somebody else and making a decision. I am all for mentoring, and I have had several mentors in my life. One of them is my father. Even though he was my mentor in certain aspects of it, I did not follow everything that he said. Now, that is not because I wanted to rebel against him or anything. It's just I did not feel that it was the right thing for me. And there are things he has said. I did it and it came out to be a bust. But there are things that he did said has immense value to it that I'm still reaping the fruits of it and I'm loving it. And I'm able to share it with others. So you have to really dig down deep into your soul, into your spirit, and say, hey, is this person what is saying is bearing witness to me in my spirit? If it's going to make me have a great life, that my generation will be better off because of this. By this, I also want to say is hearing voices. Now, there are two things I will be very specific about. If you hear voices and you say, I want to harm somebody or hurt myself or harm myself personally, you need to get a mental health professional's help immediately, because those are not how we were designed. We were designed to bless each other, grow, fruitful, and multiply. So when you're hearing those voices, you don't even have to let it go into your spirit. You know that is not good. I have heard people, they have quit their jobs because they saw on video a random guy like me on the video of YouTube channel that said, quit your day job and do this. And they have, and then they are in financial crisis. They have never evaluated, am I supposed to do this? Is this good for me? And they get into trouble. So really, and I'm talking about people, pastors, and they say, oh, you should marry this woman because this is who God wants you to marry. Never make those decisions on somebody else's viewpoint. So feel in your spirit of what you have heard and say, is this for me? Even if he's your mentor or she's your mentor or your pastor or your preacher, hey, they have made millions of dollars or they have done good what God has shown them. But that was their journey. What is my journey telling me in my spirit what I should do? That's why it's so imperative for us to have personal connection with God so we can hear for ourselves. And other people are confirmation to what we feel in our gut. We shouldn't be influenced just flippantly and then make a decision and then end up causing ourselves a great harm. I will tell you from my own experiences, I have listened to people and I have made big mistakes because I thought they were elderly, they have experienced life, they know things, and then now I look and their life is a mess in a sense of they don't have things that they want in life, but they were advising me. The influences that we have through people that tell us what to do sometimes don't have their life together. And I'm not saying you don't have to listen because sometimes they will teach you what not to do. So it's not bad to, hear them out, but to listen to them and follow their ways. I would say check 2 or 3 times if this is correct for me, your personal journey. Do not let it take you off course of what you were supposed to do and you felt you were supposed to do this, but you heard somebody because you thought they knew better. Nobody knows better things but your spirit man. What's inside you. You are intelligently designed to understand. Now, that is how check and balances happen is you hear things, you listen, and then you evaluate, does this work for me in your spirit? And if it does, do it and grow. But if it doesn't, thank you. That doesn't work for me. Because, when you watch the movies and when the critics come out, they say, oh, it was fantastic. It was lovely, this and then other 3 or 4 people will say, they should have done this or they should have done that. The movie was not that great. Now, if a producer and director goes and makes another movie on those 5 people who said those things and 70% who said, hey, it was amazing, then he's in loss. So if anybody who wants to be a mentor, just check them out, see who they are, what have they achieved. And even if they have achieved tons of abbreviations after them, or, their LLB, MBA, whatever it is, and say, oh, these guys are fine, right? I can listen to them. Their journey was different than yours. And now you will have some similar stories, you will resonate, but that is not your confirmation because your personality is different from them. So you got to take the whole picture and then make a decision. Do not let anybody influence you from their past, their present, their future. Neither me. You're watching, but I am giving you information so that you can evaluate yourself. I'm here to just give you a personal growth, give you some thoughts on who you are, what are you doing, and where you want to go. My agenda in life is for people to be blessed, grow, prosper, and achieve everything that they can. There are a lot of people out there, for $1, they will tell you anything you want to hear or criticize you for $1, So you have to make that decision. That's your personal choice. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like, subscribe, and share, and hopefully others will benefit out of this. Have a wonderful day wherever you are, and go make it a great one because you are a great person, and you have the power within you to influence yourself. Take care.